In this video, we're going to look at some of the basics of JavaScript. So the first thing you need to know is that a JavaScript file will always contain a file extension of .js. So we saw that HTML has .html extension and CSS has .css extension. Similarly, JavaScript files have a .js extension, and a JavaScript code in a file is only valid if you have a .js extension. But just like how you can use CSS inside a HTML, you can also use a JavaScript piece of code inside a HTML file. So we'll see how to do all of that. But just so that you know, JavaScript files have a .js extension. And JavaScript is case sensitive, which means that when you're typing a code, it matters whether you are using uppercase or lowercase. So case sensitive simply means that hello in all smalls is not the same as capital H hello or all caps hello. So that's what case sensitive means. And in JavaScript, all the code has to be in specific case. You cannot interchange the case and expect it to work. We'll see examples later. And in JavaScript, every statement ends with a semicolon, but the semicolon is optional. So it will work even if you don't use the semicolon. So there are two ways to include JavaScript inside a HTML file. One is you can directly write it in the head section of the HTML file inside a script tag. And the second one is that you can separately write it in the JavaScript file and save it as a .js file and then include it inside the script tag in a specific way. So we'll see examples to both of these ways of including JavaScript. So the first method is including the JavaScript directly in the head section. You see that we have some JavaScript code here. You don't have to understand what this code is. Just know that this is some JavaScript code and we are including it inside the head section of this HTML file. So this is inside the head section, and inside the script tag, we have an attribute called type, which says this is text/JavaScript, and inside that we are including the JavaScript code and closing the script tag, and this is inside the head tag. So this is one way of including JavaScript inside a HTML file. The second method is to include it using an external JavaScript file, and here, just like how we include an external CSS file where we said link rel style sheet href address to the external style sheet, similarly here you use a script tag, and in that you specify the type to be text/JavaScript, and in the src tag you specify the address to that JavaScript file, and then you close the script tag. So this syntax is important. You have to make sure that you are not making any mistakes here, otherwise this JavaScript will not be included. And typically if you're writing very small piece of code, it's fine to include it like this, but if your JavaScript file is very large, it's recommended to use an external JavaScript file and then include it using this single line tag. Now let's try out some common JavaScript commands, and we'll use both of these kinds of including the JavaScript file inside the HTML. So let's try this out. So I'm going to create a new folder in my desktop for JavaScript. So I'll just say JS, and inside this I'm going to create a text document, and I'm going to call this sample.js. So I'm saving it as a JavaScript file. So it's asking me if I want to change the file extension from .txt to .js, and I'm going to say yes. So now if I want to edit this file, I have to right click on it and click on open with, and I'm going to select Notepad from here, and I'm going to click on OK. So this is the way to edit a JavaScript file. Now I'm not going to write any code directly here. I'm going to close this and I'm going to create another new file. Here I'm going to say index.html, and I'm going to open this in Notepad. So here I'm going to type out a basic HTML file. And inside of the head tag, I'm going to open a script tag and say type equals text/JavaScript. And I'm going to close that script tag. So here we can write all the JavaScript code here. So I'm going to save this file, and now let's look at some of these commands that we've been seeing here. So the first command is document.write. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So document.write hello world. So I'm going to save this HTML file and I'm going to open it in our browser. And you can see here that in the body of the HTML file, we have a hello world. Now, if you look at this HTML file carefully, you'll see that the body has nothing here. Okay. So what this command does is, in JavaScript, if you want to include a string inside a body of a page, you can use this command and you can add something to the body of the HTML file. Now let's look at our next command. So here we have all of these statements, console.debug. This is a debug statement, and console.error. This is an error statement. Console.info. This is an info statement. Console.log. This is a log statement. Console.warn. This is a warning statement. So I'm going to save this, and now let's go to our browser again and see what that looks like. So if you click on refresh, you will see that there's nothing changing. So we still have the hello world, which was previously here. Now, does that mean that this code that we entered is meaningless and useless? Not exactly. So if you click on inspect and go to the console, so you will see that all of our statements are here now. So you can see here that all of these statements are now visible here, and you can notice a couple of things here. The first thing is that the debug statement is not present here. It only starts from the error statement. The second thing you can notice is that the error statement is highlighted in a distinct way, and the warning statement is highlighted in a distinct way. So this is red color background with red text, and there's an icon here. Similarly, the warning statement has an icon here and it's yellow background, and the info and the log statement look similar. Now, what happened to the debug statement? So the debug statement is actually present here, but it's not shown by default. So if you look here, you can see that there's one hidden, and you have to configure your browser settings to show those statements. So here if you go and click on verbose, now you can see the debug statement. Anyway, all of these statements are not necessary. Usually when you're developing, you only use the console.log statement because that is all you need. Fundamentally, all of these statements are the same, except that error and warning and sometimes info also has separate kind of a highlighting, but functionally they're all mostly the same. And for now, if you learn how to use console.log, that is enough. Now I mentioned that there are two ways to include a JavaScript file. So let's try the other method now. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this whole text, and I'm going to go to that JavaScript file that we created, and I'm going to paste this all here. And ignore the formatting, that's fine. So we're going to save that file, and now we're going to come to our index.html file, and here according to that syntax we're going to add an src attribute and then the path to that file. So here we're going to create an src attribute with the path to the file, and the path to the file is basically the name of the file because it's right next to the index.html file. So we're just going to say sample.js and save it. And here if we refresh this, so now you can see that we still see those statements, and you can see that it's executing it inside the sample.js file. So this is how you know that our integration of the JavaScript file into our HTML file is working. Now if you just want to test if it's still working without the file, you simply do this and save it. If you rename the file to a non-existing name and save it and refresh it now, it will show that error file not found. One other way to test it is you go to the actual file and you delete all the commands and save it, and now if you refresh it, it won't show you anything. Okay, so that's how you know that that code in the XML file is working. So if you save it again, all that code, and refresh it, now you see all of that statements again. So that means that our integration of this XML JavaScript file is working, and also the code inside that XML file is also working. So that's a brief demonstration of how to use JavaScript on your computer. In the next video, we're going to look at some of the more theoretical aspects of JavaScript. We're going to look at what variables are and data types are. Please make sure to like and share this video, and also subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon for notifications. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.